I think there's something very fascinating about cold water and gratitude, and using the two in combination can create some incredible things for us. James 1:2 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, and let steadfastness in its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generously to all, without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. For me, the cold water is a reminding session of who I am and where I've been and what I'm going through and where I'm headed next. The fun thing about getting in cold water is there are parts of you that don't get out of the water when you're done. If you practice gratitude while you're in the water, the lazy, self-centered, mean, or angry part of you stays. Matter of fact, I challenge you to get into cold water while you're feeling angry and see if you still care about being angry after you get out. Every day is a chance to get a little better, and every day that I get in the water is a chance to get a little better than yesterday. So what all am I trying to remind myself of in this reminding session? First big one is the breath of life that I happen to be sucking in the first moment that I come back out of the water after I've fully submerged. The second big one is my health. I am very grateful to be able to move and act and build and love the way that I do. The third big reminder that I try and practice daily is creation and its wonderful creator. I typically get into the water for 3 minutes. That gives me a lot to be grateful for. Now, I don't use the entire time for gratitudes or reminding sessions. But I'm telling you, if you're in the water for at least a minute and you're grateful for half of that for things that are going on in your life, you'll come out of the water a different person. And if you compound that over several days or months, you will step out of the water a completely different person. Look, cold water is shocking. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to get a $1,000 tub. You don't have to start with 37-degree water. You don't have to have one outside in the snow in Maine. You don't even have to record yourself and put it on YouTube. But you could do all of those things if you wanted. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a true OG, and I want to remind you that you are incredible, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by a creator who loves you so dearly. I also want to remind you to challenge yourself, to try hard and impress yourself. Set goals and a vision for yourself for a version that makes you stretch. So after you've been shaken around or splashed in the face a couple of times by life, you know where you're headed next, and you're proud of where you're going. I bet if you took a couple seconds right now, you could find at least 3 things that you're grateful for.
No, you already did it. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. Wow.